Some nerds just thought we'd take a look at every scoreboard / season exclusive weapons that were later included to be acquired in-game through free-to-play in-game currencies. So, let's go. The first actual weapon to be included in the scoreboard ever was from the City of Steel scoreboard, which was the 10th season of the game. And it is of course none other than the infamous Auto Axe. This of course can now be acquired through Giuseppe in White Springs Resort for just 500 stamps, which is the decreased amount. It was originally like 800 or 1000 or something like that. I remember people had to farm a ton to get it, and then they finally nerfed that so that more and more people could use it. So now it's actually pretty quick. And though this looks like it could have just been a unique chainsaw, it is a weapon of its own with its own mods separate from the chainsaw mods. And it is highly regarded as possibly the best auto melee weapon until now. Then, in Season 12, called Rip Daring and the Cryptid Hunt, we could get the Cold Shoulder, and this is a unique double barrel shotgun that freezes your enemies. Fantastic weapon actually, it is even today one of my favorites. More so back then than now I think. Still really cool and fun weapon to use, and you can also get this from Giuseppe for 500 stamps. Then in Season 15, called The Big Score, we could get the Circuit Breaker, and this is technically a unique 10mm pistol, but it shoots fusion cells instead of 10mm rounds of course, and it does have a particular effect of its own called the Last Shot, which causes an electric explosion which not only damages but also stuns nearby enemies on the last shot of the magazine. Pretty cool if I say so myself. The front part may look like a silencer at a glance, but it's not, it's some sort of energy tube or something. And I did say it is technically a unique 10mm because though it looks like it, they do have different weapon mods as well, and it is impossible to put a silencer on this one. Anyway, this can be acquired from Giuseppe for 500 stamps as well. Then in Season 16, called A Duel with the Devil, this was the first time the scoreboards were taken down and just called Seasons with the whole ticket system that we have today. And on it, we could get the Cremator. And it is a weapon of its own, but definitely played a lot like an auto grenade launcher. And back then, this thing was pretty broken with how much burning damage it could do. I remember people taking them to events and the whole world was just explosions and fires. It was really annoying, and I think they nerfed it a few times. Definitely don't see a lot of people using them anymore. That said, we can still get this bad boy from Mortimer at the crater for 750 gold bullions if you have reached the ally reputation for the raiders. Now, in Season 17, called Pioneer Scout Skyline Valley, we could get the Headhunter Scythe, which looks really wicked, but out of all of the unique weapons so far, it was the most underwhelming one when it came out. It was a unique pickaxe, despite how it looks, and its special effect was that it would cause 30 bleeding damage per second for 5 seconds, which, I mean, it could have been interesting, but one of the legendary effects was Assassins, which of course is more damage to humans, so automatically this was something people didn't really use against bosses. And the human enemies in this game, honestly, most of them can be taken out with just one shot of any pistols really, so yeah, it wasn't very popular aside from the people who only played melee, but now we can still nab this bad boy for 500 stamps at Giuseppe. Now, in the 18th season called Milepost Zero Country Road, We don't get any weapons from the season rewards themselves, but instead they added the laser carbine in the Milepost 0, where you had to do the caravans to unlock a particular dude and then get a quest from him to get the weapon, and then level that dude up to get the mods for the weapon from him. That is literally the only reason so many people played caravans, and once they got it, they stopped playing. That's probably why Bethesda put it on Milepost 0 instead of the seasons, specifically to force people to keep doing this activity, because honestly, it was really boring and monotonous. Which, it so happened, now we no longer have Milepost 0 anymore. Coincidence? That said, if you started playing Fallout 76 after it was over, you can still buy the laser carbine and its mods from this person here in Highway Town. And the best part, it just costs caps. And this is still one of my favorite weapons to this day, fantastic auto energy weapon. Now, on Season 19, The Gleaming Depths, we did get the Tesla cannon, which was definitely super cool, but I feel like it coming out at the same season in which the raid came out, which had a bunch of unique versions of different weapons and even cool weapons of their own, like the sword, it did kinda overshadow the Tesla cannon itself. And this was a very special weapon, as it consumed 5 fusion cells per shot, and it dealt heavy damage to a single target with minor AoE damage to those around it. I think Bethesda had wanted this to be used against the big old bosses in the raid, but honestly, DPS wise, there were so many better weapons back then that this one just kinda got forgotten for the most part. That said, I do think this looks really sweet, especially with all the electricity going around in it. I do think that's awesome. Anyway, we can still get this for 750 gold bullions from Mortimer as long as you have the Ally Raider rank. Now, on Season 21 called Gone Fishing, we got the Icebreaker, which is another heavy weapon, and this was, at the very least, pretty interesting, in that kills with this weapon would explode for 25 freezing damage and slow down nearby enemies by 30% for 6 seconds. The kills also would leave behind Cryo Hazard for 12 seconds. Along with that, there were also mods for this gun that could make it even cause bleeding damage per shot or exploding projectiles that staggered targets. And just like other season weapons, this was definitely pretty cool and interesting and kinda different in terms of effects, but for whatever reason this didn't get a lot of attention, possibly because everyone was too busy fishing that entire season. Anyway, you can still pick this one up for 750 gold bullion at Mortimer if you have the ally reputation with the raiders. And on Season 23, Blood and Rust, we got the amazing and possibly the fan favorite Dom Pedro, which was supposedly the weapon that the Ghoul used in the Fallout TV show, and possibly because of this TV fame, or perhaps because the gun was so OP when it first came out, a lot of people really liked this one. I too messed around with this for a few months before stashing it, and of course Bethesda couldn't just kill such a famous weapon from the TV show, so they put it back in, and now we can actually still buy this weapon from Windy Park at Highway Town for a whopping 2,000 gold bullions, and that's where you can also buy the weapon mods for it as well. And so far, those are all the seasonal weapons that have been added back into the game that we can still get today. Now, just to mention some of the weapons that have yet to be included in the game, in case any of you were curious. From Season 11 called Nuka World, we got the Nuka Launcher, which is still the favorite auto grenade launcher of many people out there because it has almost twice the firing speed of the normal ones, along with the 2-shot and crippling legendary effects, making this a fantastic weapon. From Season 22, the Appalachian Modern Living, we got the Cosmic Knife, and it was a kitchen knife that you could put superheated blade on it, making targets take 42 fire damage per second for 3 seconds with plus 25% limb damage, while causing damage resist to be reduced by 25% for 3 seconds as well. On paper, it was a fantastically cool weapon, but as far as aesthetics go, of all the season weapons, this was the most plain and simple one, and possibly why many people still overlook it. And perhaps they might not add this one back in just because it was so unpopular compared to the other weapons. And for now, that's it. Those are every seasonal weapons that we ever got. So tell me, are you missing any of these? And which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Consider helping the channel out by clicking join down below to become a member. Subscribe to some more videos like this. And as per usual, always nerd on.